and there is, it's arriving. Here's the first look. Huh? No. 2 days.
2 days, yeah?
Emotional, damn it!
That's good. It's a start. Wait, stop. Yep, keep going. He has arrived. This wheel, mamma mia. That's how it should be. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Hell yeah. Wow. What about that? So just before I assembled the panel, came to my attention while I was checking some things. This is the hose that connects to the coolant reservoir, and as you can see, tear and wear, possibly because it's been overstretched, because it's been cut on top. This one just sits from here, and it connects all the way down to the reservoir, the coolant reservoir. So what I'm gonna do, I bought just a standard 8mm inner diameter coolant hose, which will be a significant upgrade of the existing one. So let's go and install it. You can see it easier from the bottom. All I did was connect the hose onto the coolant reservoir and I tightened it. Now I'm just gonna feed the hose to the top. Now that it's loose enough, we'll just cut it here. And for that we need no special tools. All we do is get a sharp blade and cut it. And then, so first I'm just gonna top it up the reservoir, and then later I'll turn on the car, let it reach the high temperature, and then I'll top it up the radiator, because I believe the radiator is not leaking, so be no reason for me to top it up the radiator, but just gonna open it. And like I said, I'm using water. And as expected, yes, there is plenty of air in the system, especially because I turned on the car to move it back and forward with the reservoir being empty. So right now we're just checking for coolant leaks. Yeah, good news, no leaks as expected. Beautiful. Okay, now let's install the wing, which I previously painted, and it's beautiful and dried. Look at that. Now let's go and install it. So I'm going to start by installing the side indicator. Go. Yes, because it's an aftermarket panel, don't expect to go plug and play, because that doesn't exist. Now let's go and install it. How did I know somehow that I was gonna need that? My thread chaser. Yeah, because I'll show you. It's that boy over there. Yeah, I need to redo the thread because it's not gripping. So let's do it. I've showed you how to do this in the past, but so what you do, you get a bolt and the nut. In this case, the nut. This is the thread to rethread the bolt. So you get the nut, just so you know if it's the right thread. If it doesn't go in, it means it's not the right thread, because you got 3 metrics in this kit. As I already know, this is a metric bolt, so I do get the 6 metric nut to ensure it's the right one, and yes, it is. It spins freely, so what I do now, I get the size 6 bolt and test it, and yes, goes in and out perfectly. And now I'm just gonna rethread the threads because they got rust. They're not holding the bolt that I was trying to put in before, so let's do this quick. And the good of this kit is that you can just use normal wrench, cheap wrench, with the 11mm socket, which you apply at the back. And once you know it's in place, all you do is thread it in, perfect, and thread it out, and that should be more than enough to create enough thread, just so when the new bolt goes in, beautiful, look at that. As long as you got the right tools, you can do all this, do the right job, and everything is possible. This is the difference between drilling a new hole and or force a new bolt, because the bolt will for sure lose a thread, but this one is perfect, ready to go in. And yes, I'm going to use this one, not a brand new one, because that one has got the same shape as a new thread that I just created, went in and out fully. Perfect, let's go. I'm very happy with that. The gap is perfect, as you can see now. So easy to get to this stage, but you got it. And look at that. Perfect. If you remember, there was a lot of problems initially when we got this panel. After a lot of trimming and cutting and placing, everything got into place. Now, let's just complete it and set it home. Next thing we need to install is this plastic protector that works as a water repellent. So it kind of protects all the electricals and hinges from not accumulating water. And that's the next stage. That's the next bit. And should just like that. Perfect. It's got a pin which goes across. Perfect. Put side indicator, and now we just reattach all the wires that we moved earlier, and we just connect it from the top. Done. It's taking shape now. Not long left now. So now, next on the list is... So yeah, as you can see, the next thing to do is fix this wheel arch, because after the impact, this wheel arch totally broke. Was either getting a new one, which for me would be okay, but the owner of the car asked me if I could just repair it, so I did repair it. I'm using and melting some aluminum mesh into it in different areas, just to ensure both sides stay attached and it won't break ever. And yeah, as you will see, the result will be perfect. And because it's such a flexible part of the car, it's not really structural, and therefore it's just there to protect any splashes created by the wheels. Let's go and install this wheel arch and see if it aligns with everything else, which should. Thanks, Timo. I bought this one a long time ago. Knew I was gonna use it eventually, so... What do I need? That's what I need. Let's just see if it fits. Maybe not. Okay, I found the right one. One last terminal bolt that goes underneath to attach the wheel arch, and that should be it. Okay. That's the bolt that I meant. That one. Right there. Now let's go and try to assemble the headlights. Okay, so there's one. Let's go and get the other one. And yes, I got my wish. I finally spoke with the owner of the car and we both agreed on it'll be better and safer to get a brand new one. Oh, all the brackets are intact, which is amazing, superb. And yes, you saw me fixing all of these brackets in one of my videos, but for safety reasons I suggested to the owner of the car that it would be better to get a second-hand one instead of relying on a repaired one. Not gonna lie, it's going too well. Too well. Let's go and test the bumper now. Hell yeah. Wow. What about that? Remember, the car was totally twisted. All I have to do now is just screw everything, tighten everything up. And that's it. Mission accomplished. Definitely gonna need a drink after this. So now we just need to change all the light modules from the old unit onto the new headlight. And to be honest, this is as simple as it gets. Because the mirror effect of both headlights, you remove from one headlight and you install exactly the same way onto the other headlight. But some headlights do not bring the right models. This way you ensure you install the right headlight and the right models. And that's it. Done with the old, ready for the new. Let's go and install it now. And now we are very close to the end, so once I installed the headlight, all I need to install is the bumper and the tray. And this tray is the one that attached to the chassis and holds the bumper in place. Sorry that I missed the installation of the bumper, but you've seen it before how I done it. Now all I'm doing now is I'm screwing all the bolts underneath to attach the bumper to that and the tray. Now, after painting the bonnet, now I'm just installing it, placing it, and after adjusting a little bit the hinges and everything, this is the final result. And yes, once again, my mic is not connected, so therefore you're not going to hear anything that I'm trying to say. But yeah, look at that. The final result, the car looks much better, almost OEM. That's what you get by investing time, passion, devotion, technique and knowledge. I guess Matt Armstrong was partially right when he said hard work beats talent, because when you invest your hard work into something, you get talented at what you do, and that is correct. So yeah, finally, this project came to an end. Yeah, was exciting. Very. It was an accident, you know, in both sense, because first, the accident, and the second, that I was not planning to do it. It just came to me, fell on my lap, so I helped a friend and somehow showed some of the skills that I can bring to you guys. Yeah, it took a while because, you know, the weather. It took me about 2 months, but considering I got my 8 to 5 job, it took me about 6 to 7 days to fully complete the car, waiting for parts and stuff like that. But it was very exciting. I'll do it again any time of the day, any time of the week, just because I like to do it. And now, having said that, we can finally go back to the Mini and finish it. And once that's done, I will go and take you guys through how to disassemble fully my Jaguar XE engine, which needs a new timing chain, which should be nice, exciting. And then eventually, finally, we can go to inside this tent. I've got something special which I haven't shown before. Don't plan just yet to show you, but you will find out what it is. If you stick with me, you will know what's in there. But due to the weather and conditions of working like this, becomes difficult to make things faster and quicker. So let's just say that I'm in discussions as to get things done easier and better and quicker and with much better quality than that's what it is at the moment. But for that, I'm gonna need your help. I need you to hit that like button, subscribe, and yes, most of it as well, comment, because it's quite important. If you comment, the algorithm will know that you like what you see, so therefore things will get easier. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate, and stick around because the next one can only be better than what it is, because the next challenge is right behind me. It's only getting better and better as the days go by, but now I can fully focus on it. And see you soon. Take care.